Number 3, child and dependent care credit. Does anyone know anything about child and dependent care credits? This is where you have paid an individual, a number of children, you're paying them to provide daycare service or watch their day-to-day activities while you work or while you look for work, okay? And so it tells you here that you could collect a credit of $3,000 per one qualifying individual or $6,000 for two, okay? Again, the dollar is limited and age comes into effect here as well. So what age does the child have to be under in order for you to qualify for child and dependent care credit? 13. And so again, you want to always remember the age of the child or the dependent when you're looking at credits. We're at child and dependent care credit. And so if your child is under age 13 and you have an individual providing care for them, you can essentially get up to $3,000 or $6,000, okay? On the next page, it tells you the parameters, okay? It says here that your payment must be made to a care provider, so like a daycare center where we are here today, who is not your spouse, the parent of the child who is your qualifying individual, or your child age 19 or under. Okay, so that means that you can't use your own child and say, I pay you an allowance and take off the credit, or your husband or your spouse, okay? In addition, if you're married, you must file a joint return. So what does that mean? That if you are married but you decide to file a separate return, you won't qualify for the child tax credit. And that's important because some individuals decide to file separately and they're essentially missing out on the child tax credit, the child dependent care credit if they file separately, okay? Also, you must report the name, address, and tax identification number, either that's a social security number or employee identification number of the person on your tax return. So if you have a babysitter, they must give you a documentation with their tax ID number or their social security number, their name and their address, for it to be claimable on your tax return for the dependent care credit. If there's someone that doesn't want their name, then you have to know going into your strategy that you won't be able to take that deduction.